In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Entry Preparer application for Windows to set up and send in a collection of images in a very simple and easy way. You've previously used the app for sending in competition entries. A collection of images works in pretty much the same way, but here it's just a group of images that aren't related to any of the competitions that we're running. For example, the committee might want people to send in their images showing Lancaster for an exhibition. Using the collections feature of the Entry Preparer application is a very good way for you to put the images together and send them in with just a few clicks. Once you submit them, the competition secretary can process them automatically very, very quickly with a minimum of work. So let's start up Entry Preparer and we'll see what this looks like. We go to the Start menu and scroll down to Lancaster Photographic Society, and here's the item on the menu that starts the Entry Preparer. You're familiar with all of this. Here's the Entry Preparer application. Now, the image collection feature is down here in this bottom right-hand corner. If you don't see this when you start Entry Preparer, then you'll need to upgrade to the latest version. We added image collections to the version of the application that was released in January 2021. If you need to do an upgrade, then go to the LPS website, find the installation file, download and run it, and everything will be done automatically for you. We'll show you everything you need to do in this video. If you want to read up about it, or maybe print off a reference, or look in some more detail, then the application will help you with this. Go to the Help menu, select Tutorials, and go to About Collections of Images. Here's a help file that tells you all that you need to know with plenty of pictures and examples. You'll be able to print this off if you want to sit and read it at your leisure. So let's do our example where the Society is putting on an exhibition of pictures about Lancaster. And let's see how you can use the collections feature to make submission of images very simple. I've got 3 images here that I've taken from my archive that are related to Lancaster, and I want to send those in. So we go down to the Collection of Images button in Entry Preparer, and let's click that. We go to the Manage Collections form. So let's set up a new image collection to hold our pictures. We can call it Lancaster Exhibition. There, we've created our new image collection. So we'll select it here and then we'll click on Open, and here we go to the form that lets you manage what's in this collection. It's very, very similar to the form you're used to for managing the entries that you put into a competition, but here there's no connection with any of our competitions at all. So let's start with adding some images to the collection. We click on the Add Entry to Competition button. And here is the very familiar Add Remove Entries form. As with the competition, click on the Add New Entry button. Let's go to the folder where we've got our images. Select the first image. As with competitions, you don't have to name your image file in any particular way. This is just what has come out of Photoshop. We'll do the image titling bit in a moment. The application looks at the image, shows you a thumbnail to confirm you've got the right one. Collections, it doesn't matter in the software whether it's a color or a mono image. The competition secretary might have asked you to do something specific, but the software doesn't have any particular features about this. We put an entry title in. Let's call this one Dragon Kite. Images for the collection have to be sized in the same way as they are for competitions to fit in a frame that's 1920 by 1440. As with the competition, the software will tell you whether you've done that right. If you have made the image too big, it will warn you, but send it in and it will be resized automatically when it gets to the competition secretary. So don't worry about image sizing. Let's put that image in, and here it is in the list of images for the collection. Let's quickly add another couple of images. We'll call that one Spa. And then we'll put our third image in, Castle. Here's our 3 images now that are part of this image collection. Now, you'll notice that just as with a competition, we've given the images priority numbers. Whether the priority numbers are used in any way will depend on exactly what the committee have asked for. Maybe the images will be prioritized so that the highest priority images will be considered above the lower priority ones, or maybe not. It depends entirely on what the requirements are for the particular thing you're doing. As with competitions, you can reorder the priorities if you need to. You can, by the way, submit up to 16 entries in a collection. So we've got all our images into the collection. As with competitions, if you want to change the title of an image, select it, click Alter the Title, and you can edit it there. Now, once the images are in the collection, we can close that form. You can go back, of course, and change your mind, add entries, remove entries, go and have a coffee, sleep and think about what you're doing, and come back the next day. Once you're finished, you can just review what you've got in the collection. But the next step to do is to prepare the entries to send in to the competition secretary. The application will bundle all your image files up into a single file that you can submit very quickly with WeTransfer. So we click on this Prepare Your Entries for Submission button. Here it tells you a little bit about what it's going to do, and we click the Create the File for Sending in. We'll make sure we put that on the desktop just so we can see it quickly, and the software proposes a name that will include your initials and your membership number and the name of the image collection. Please don't change that file name. The automated software that's used when your entries have got to the competition secretary will use some of the information in that name to make things quicker. Save the file, and here's the file appearing on the desktop. You won't be able to look inside that file or change it. If at this point you decide you do want some different entries, then just go back, reset the image collection and change what you've done and go through the process all over again. You can now send this file into the competition secretary with WeTransfer in exactly the same way as you do for your competition entries file. You can click on the button here that takes you to the WeTransfer website. You can then drag and drop this entries file in and send it in. You'll see details of how to do this WeTransfer bit in some other videos, so I won't explain that bit here. When you've done that, you can close the application down. A little padlock here says that you've prepared the entries for sending in and you've submitted them to the competition secretary. You can keep the image collection on your computer, or if you don't want to retain it, you can delete it. And everything is cleaned up. So there's how to do collections. Very simple and straightforward. As before, if you have any problems or doubts about what you're doing, get in touch with the Society and we'll be very pleased to help you out.